Hi everyone. So I'm very long overdue for an update video, and it really just took me this long because I don't know, life has been crazy this past year for everybody, and I just really haven't known what to say. Still don't, but I kept putting it off and putting it off, and I'm now at my 15 months of being cancer free. So I definitely wanted to do a year update. Like I said, I kind of just been all over the place. Life's crazy. So yeah, I'm at 15 months cancer free. So take a moment to celebrate that, of course. I just wanted to kind of update on how I feel. And once again, much like my other, I think, 2 videos I have on here, this is more so for me to just get my feelings out because I'm at the point again in my life where I kind of feel like I need to kind of get a few things out because I don't really talk to anybody about some of these feelings. I like to kind of keep certain things to myself, and one of the main things I don't really talk a lot about is my cancer situation, just because I don't know, it's weird. Some people are just really weirded out whenever you talk about it, and I'm still like processing everything, of course. So for me to really talk about it, it's still kind of difficult. So I don't know. Like I said, I just kind of keep everything inside. And everyone has their own stuff going on, and I am one of those type of people that really tries to help everybody else out, and tries to kind of like make everybody else's situations a little bit easier. So tend not to talk about myself. But that being said, I'm in a much better place mentally. I would say back in November, December, December mostly, I started getting into a better place mentally and really started healing. I started going to a therapist, which is one thing. I have a really good best friend, Michelle, who really pulled me out of some of my deepest and darkest moments. I don't really know if she really realizes how much she helped me whenever I was going through everything. She's a really good person, and we've had our ups and downs, of course, like we're friends, that happens. But there were so many times whenever I was just like super low down and didn't want to come out of my bed and this and that, dealing with everything. And she would not take no as an answer. She's a very persistent friend. But I'm really grateful for those times because she kind of started helping me get over a lot of my like social anxiety and things like that. I still do have it to an extent, but it's like this compared to this. So it's a lot more bearable for me. But yeah, I'm really grateful for her, like really just pushing me to come out of my box and kind of put myself out there again, as far as just like going out and doing things and enjoying my life and not like keeping myself locked up in the house. So I started doing that. The therapist, I took my first like solo road trip to Georgia and did some hiking and just some self-reflecting, and really just thinking about how I've spent so much time, like my entire adult life has been spent of me giving all my energy to everybody else, and really like pouring myself into others, especially those people that I care about, mostly those people that I care about, pouring myself into them and really not pouring that energy into myself. So I kind of promised myself that I was just going to really start focusing on trying to find what makes me happy, really trying to find myself. At that point, I had been single, for 7 or 8 months. Now I've been single for 14 or 15 months. And, at that point, I had said that I was fine and over everything. And I'm definitely over my ex. Like, I wish him the best, but I'm very over him and could care less. But, I wasn't at that point truly comfortable like moving past it, if that makes sense. Like I was past it, but I still pretty much like every day was hurting about it, and I still cried about it all the time, and I was still questioning myself and what I did wrong and what was wrong with me, blah 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 blah. I do realize that my last relationship, it didn't work out I was with this person twice, so I knew what to expect, and I still, trying to believe the best, see the best in somebody, take them at their word, truly loving somebody, and kind of just like throwing caution to the wind. But it's a lesson learned, and I can just say that I'm glad the lesson was learned when it was. It was very painful to have everything happen at the same time, to find out about my cancer, have surgery, go through a breakup, have to move, all of that stuff within 4 weeks of each other. But I'm a better person because of it, and I really feel like so much different. I'm the most comfortable I've ever been being alone in my entire life. Like, I've never been single for this long. I mean, I've had interest in a person, but, or, like, I've kind of had little crushes here and there. A few people or a person has sparked my interest, but like nothing crazy. I just don't have it in me to want to date anybody. I've become so comfortable being with myself. I just don't know that I still don't feel like I'm ready to really open up and put myself in that position to really, I don't know, put myself out there for somebody new. I do feel like I've healed quite a bit, but I still want to continue to find myself. And, if I happen to find somebody along the way of that happening, then it is what it is. I'm not going to sit here and say I'm never going to date again. If something happens, I'm definitely open for it. I'm for sure not looking for it in any way, shape, fashion, or form. So that's one of the biggest things in the past year is just me really learning to be more comfortable with myself. I'm really working on my confidence level. It's getting there. I've lost a little bit of weight, like 25, 30 pounds. I'm definitely working on losing some more weight. I have started showing my stomach some, which has never really been something about me, but I kind of have wanted to lose weight so I can show my scar, which I've had people ask me if I'm going to cover it with a tattoo or if I'm, going to do something to like minimalize it, but no, like I want to show it. People look and ask what happened. Like, I like to let them know that I'm a survivor, and the things that I went through, I'm never shy talking about them. So yeah, so that's basically that. A few things did happen. My little sister moved down last year since everything happened, with her 2 kids. So crazy, life works in mysterious ways. But, a few months after me finding out that I could not have any children, I kind of inherited 2 small kids with my sister that I'm helping her raise. It's been a challenging experience, rewarding. I love them all very much, and just having like these 2 kids around has really brightened up my day a lot and brought way more into my life than my sister definitely realizes, I'm sure. I have been trying to travel more. Went to Vegas for my cancerversary and just got back from South Carolina, North Carolina, which, being on the road, I can just say that I'm so ready to be able to just travel freely. It's really the only time that I feel like open and free and just like completely comfortable. And I come back and I just feel like suffocated. And it's not because like I'm miserable here or because I don't want to be around anybody. It's just I do the same things day to day to day. And having cancer last year really put my life into so much perspective. And I feel like I'm wasting my life a little bit, and not necessarily wasting it, but life is so much more than just sitting. I mean, I'm sitting in my like home office right now. Life is so much more than just sitting and doing the same job day to day. That it's not I have a great job. I have a great team for the most part. But it's just I'm not doing something that I'm passionate about, and I just feel like there's more to life than people doing things that are not like igniting something inside of them. And when I travel and do my photography and things of that nature, like, it makes me just feel so light and free. And then I come back home and I just, like I said, I feel suffocated. I feel trapped. And it literally has nothing to do with the people around me. It has nothing to do with the jobs, the city. Like, it has literally nothing to do with that. It just has to do with I feel different when I'm traveling and when I'm on the road. I can't explain it. I'm sure other people feel the same way. So currently working on figuring out how to either win the lotto or find a lifestyle that I can just live on the road. So that's good. I do have my checkups every 3 months. I have been having a few issues health-wise that I've been trying to stay on top of. So, you know, fingers crossed that all of those things are as minimal as they can be. But I'm doing good in that aspect. But, you know, last year was obviously 2020, and I haven't really made a video since all of that stuff happened. So I did have some really hard times last year. Obviously, I found out that I beat cancer, but my cousin who found out the month before I did that she had cervical cancer, but she was stage 4 and I was stage 1 ovarian. She actually passed away in August. So honestly, I think out of everything that I've dealt with in this whole journey, that's been the hardest, the absolute hardest. I thought I was gonna make it through this video without crying, but I guess not. Angie was such a special person, and I mean, I'm not gonna act like she was an absolute saint, because I mean, none of us are, but Angie had like the biggest heart. She always just wanted everybody to get along. Like, I feel like a lot of the caring aspects that myself and a lot of my family members have, like, Angie definitely had a lot of those traits, and like above that. And unfortunately, I didn't really talk to her a lot before she passed away. Her cancer progressed very rapidly after she found out, but losing her right after, not that long after me beating cancer, it just kind of fucks with your head in a different way, you know? Like, survivor's guilt. It was a long time of me just wondering why I made it and she didn't, and just feeling so guilty for living and my cousin not making it. So that's really been the hardest part to deal with. So I've really just tried. I just want to live my life to the fullest, because that's what Angie did. Angie lived, I feel like Angie really tried her best to just live life like it was, like you never knew when it was going to stop. She traveled when she wanted to. She did silly things and didn't really care what people thought of her. She would give anybody the shirt off her back. Like I said, she had her qualities that weren't the best too, but like, Angie was a genuinely warm-hearted person, and losing her was a very dark spot for a lot of people, and it's still very fresh, and it still hurts a lot. So, and then a month after we lost Angie, a friend of 10 years that I work with and have worked with for a long time, passed away at a very young age too, also in his 30s. They were both in their 30s, their late 30s. So losing Angel was hard, and I had just seen him a few days before. And yeah, so a lot of this, me wanting to live is for me, of course. But like, to go through a moment where you really feel like you're gonna die, and then to lose people so close to you, it just really puts things into like a different perspective. And I know I come off to some people, you know, especially like newer people that I meet, I'm sure I come off as like a lot, and I might come off as like ungenuine with my joy or my silliness or my weirdness, because I'm super fucking weird. But like, I just really want to live my life to the fullest and not take it for granted, because there's people here that I love very dearly, or there's people that I love very dearly that are not here, that don't get the same opportunity. So like how disrespectful of me would it be to not take this chance that I've gotten and like completely go with it, right? So yeah, I just wanted to kind of cover all the stuff that had been on my mind. I haven't really talked about Angie much, because it's a very sore subject for all of us that lost her. So it's understandable, but she deserves to be talked about. Her memory, like, it should live on forever, and an Angel's memory as well. So I will just say that I did see a therapist for a while, and it helped quite a bit to work through some things. Traveling and doing more physically has been helping. Not limiting myself to like letting my social anxiety stop me from actually going out into the world. Like all of that has really started to make a difference in how I feel. And I definitely have had some low points in the last couple months, but at this point last year, every single day I was questioning why I was still alive, and I was really just ready to not be around anymore, honestly. Every single day I was miserable and sad, and now I might have a couple of bad days in the month, if that. So I'll take that as a win, and I'll just continue